Hey, it's your girl Tay. Thanks for coming back to my channel. Thanks for being here. Today, I just really wanted to talk about how I've been feeling lately, just putting some things into perspective. Just really like evaluating where I'm at personally, where I'm at my brand and my business, just like my thoughts. I never want to come on here and act like I have it all together because I don't. I struggle with a lot of things. But mainly I deal with them internally, and I deal with them by talking to God. I never really, and my boyfriend and my mom and family, of course, but like I never really talk about it like to you guys. I figured that like, hey, I'm not feeling the most inspired right now. Just if I can get my message across and it can resonate with someone and someone else can feel it and understand, I think that'll be more than enough for me. I'm gonna get a little personal. I did a late filing for my taxes this year because I simply was not prepared. I wasn't prepared, just had so many other obligations, and I know that like taxes should have been the number one thing. What put into perspective of that is just when you do your taxes, and for me in particular, I do them a certain way. I don't want to disclose too much of that information because one way that I'm doing it might not be the way that works for you. To provide a 1099K form. And if you know that a 1099K form is something that you only should be receiving in your business if you made over $20,000 in revenue or 200 transactions. And so as I was looking for like my 1099K form in my Shopify account, it just didn't pop up. I didn't have it for like year 2022, and I'm just like, what is going on? Like, but I do remember my boyfriend saying like some months ago or maybe like a year ago, he's like, yeah, you only need a 1090, or you only should get a 1099K form if you have the $20,000 in revenue or if you have 200 transactions for the year. I'm like, yeah, like something's wrong with my Shopify account. I gotta talk to Shopify. I don't know what's going on. Girl, tell me why. I did all that searching and I did some more Googling. And yes, it's true. If you do not have over 200 transactions or $20,000 in revenue, you do not get a 1099K form. So the feelings that I was feeling in the moment and what I've been thinking about over the past year and a half has been true, Like, I haven't been making that much money in my business, and I ain't gonna lie, it's a little frustrating because I know the potential that my brand has. I know that I have quality products. I know like all these things about my business and my brand. Sometimes it's just hard relaying that message to a new audience. I've also been struggling with is that when I do send emails, sometimes they're not even being like clicked on. Some people aren't even, or if they are clicking on them, they're like actually not going to the website. And then I've also been getting a lot of people who have been unsubscribing. Now I know I've been battling with like people unsubscribing and subscribing for some time, but it used to really get me discouraged because I'm like, dang, like these are the people who've been with me from the start. Like, what about my brand or about my business that they don't like anymore? That they just don't want to buy from me anymore. Like, is it me? Is it the content? Is it, me changing up my aesthetic? Like, is it the price? Like, what is it? What is it? And my boyfriend was telling me like, you just need to stop looking at, unsubscribing, because that can be a blessing in disguise. And he's just like, the people who are unsubscribing, like, that's okay, because you're getting closer to the people who do want to be in your tribe, in your community, and who do want to support you. So you should look at that as a plus. Now, at first, I was crying because, like I said, it's just, I never imagined to where it would be something where people just weren't invested or people just didn't like my brand and what I was coming out with. Another thing too is just like the engagement. If you know, if you own a business on Instagram right now, especially Instagram or TikTok, it is so hard to figure out what is going on. How can you be picked up in the algorithm? How can you be different? And I was talking to God, and he just like telling me to be, get creative in this season. And I kind of let that like go over my head. And I did have the ebook, which helped, bring in some extra income. But like, that's just passive, that's just something that I can provide as a resource to other candle makers, which, okay, is cool. But like, I really want to work on my brand and my business, So that's what's really been hard for me, is just trying to figure out a pivot and all this crazy algorithm and engagement and trying to find my target audience. It's been the struggle. And I know that I'm not the only one who has been feeling like this. I know that these days are not going to last forever. I'm just wanting to come on here and just be as real, raw, and authentic, and honestly to document this, because I know that, like I said, these tough times right now are not going to last long. But I just want something to look back on to say like, hey Taylor, you tried your best to pivot, you tried your best to be creative, and you tried your best to just figure it out. And it might have took a little longer than what you wanted to, but you stuck the course, and that's all that matters. And also, I was talking to my neighbor. I'm the type of person where I always want to, yes, of course, like I want to be very grateful for the season that I'm in, and grateful for the process that it's getting me to get to the next step. But also the other part of me is like, I want to know what's next. I'm such an Aries. When I get done with something, I'm like, all right, what's next? How can I achieve this goal? I need to be achieving these goals by a certain amount of time in my life. Okay, I'm coming up on 4 years of being in business. I need to be doing this. Like, just doing a lot of comparing, not necessarily to other people, but like to my own self and where I need to be. But what she was saying too is just like, if you want to keep comparing yourself and keep running this rat race, like, you're never going to be able to really just stay in the moment and be grateful of the things that you've already accomplished and the steps it took to get there. I also told her that, like, God was telling me in another sense too, like, Taylor, like, everything that you ever wanted, I gave it to you. I made it happen. So what makes you think that in this season, in your, you know, in your business, in your personal life, that it's not going to happen? You just have to trust me, continue to do what you're doing. You might have to make some pivots and like get creative, step outside the box, just try some things that you've never done before. I already told you, your era of being creative, in whatever way that comes about, just try it and do it and see what happens. I think what really helps me to understand that too is with the whole coach collaboration, how that came about. That's something that I literally stepped outside the box and I tried, and it was creative, and I didn't know anything was gonna come out of it. I mean, I knew something was gonna come out of it, but I didn't know it was gonna be a freaking coach collab. Shout out to Coach. I just been such like in this tug of war, and with like how I'm feeling, what I want to do to be my next best higher self in my business. And I want to expand some stores I really want to get into. I just been getting a lot of no's, and that's very discouraging. My neighbor was just telling me, she's like, even though you've been getting a lot of no's, stuff has not been working out for you, like, you're still doing it. That's the thing. Like, you still are racking your brain about ways to get creative and to pivot, to continue on and like pushing your business forward. And I never thought about it like that, because there are days when I really just want to quit. Oh, and another thing too is, sorry, this is kind of just a ramble, my daily thoughts. I have been like doing like my candles and cocktails events like earlier in the year, I've been doing, and I really want to start to ramp those up for the end of the year, because I know those types of experiences will do really well. Well, the same place that I go to, it's no longer under the same ownership, and this new couple, they're like charging $300 an hour just to rent the space. And mind you, I rent out the space for a total of 2 hours, so that's $600 for 2 hours. And that's before I can even get any sales made from the tickets for the event, because I have to make sure that I'm confirming the dates, sending the deposit, and securing everything. And that's just another thing where it's just like, it's very discouraging. It's very discouraging. And at times I really like think about like, dang, I know it's something that God was telling me to, you know, keep pursuing, keep doing, because he gave me the idea, right? But it's just these little things along the path. I'm just like, am I cut out for this? Am I built out for this? Like, is this my journey, you know? And I probably sound like a brat. You want to continue to elevate. You want to continue to be and just keep going forward. Like, you don't want to have no setbacks. But unfortunately, an entrepreneur and owning a business, like, these are things that you deal with in your everyday, like, day-to-day life. And I'm just trying to find a way to pivot, trying to find my target audience, and really just try to be most authentic and stay true to myself and my values and my beliefs when it comes to my business. But I'm not gonna lie to you, it is hard, it is tough right now. I know the economy is not the same as it was back in 2020. Everybody not getting them stimulus checks. A lot of people have been dealing with layoffs, and a lot of people are just like life is hard for a lot of people. I get that, I understand that. Life is lifing, okay? So I guess this is more just like a rant video, and I don't know. I'm gonna keep going because I'm not a quitter. I'm not a quitter. Well, not right now at least. But it's hard out here. So whoever this resonates with, we are in this together, okay? We got this. This is just something, this is just one of the motions that you just have to go through in order to get to the next best step in your business, in your life, whatever, okay? I'm actually just like saying this to myself. Tough times do not last, okay? Tough people do. I probably messed up that quote, but I believe it in my heart that it's not gonna be like this always. It's just a moment where I just need to step back and evaluate. Like, I gave you the time of your life with your business in 2020 and 2021 during the hardest time of your life and the most pivotal time of your life when I was dealing with so much with my mom. And like now I'm like, yeah, this gonna be the easy part. It's really not. So, but I'm figuring it out, and yeah, it'll be okay. It'll be okay, Taylor. I'm not getting emotional because I don't cry on camera. Not yet, at least. I'm gonna look back on this video when I get into that store that I've been wanting to get into for so long, and then I'm probably gonna cry because it's gonna happen. And I just really wanted to document this because I don't know, I'm a big advocate on manifesting and believing and going after what you want, but also documenting the journey, because that's just life. You just want to look back on all your accomplishments or the, you know, the trials and tribulations that you've been through and be like, wow, I stuck to it. I was able to get through this hard part in my life or in my business, and look at me now. I did exactly what I said I was gonna do. So future self, you got this. I love you, girl, and I can't wait to see you in that store. You'll figure it out like you always do. Bye.